Welcome back to the Amazing Career Project. We are on video 11, Be Your Own Best Marketer, and we are in the phase of saying yes to your compelling visions. Okay, your takeaway today is this. You are incredibly special, important, and valuable. Are you demonstrating and communicating that every day? So, with the hundreds of women that I work with every year, the answer to that question is no. I'm really not, because one, I don't really know how I'm special and different and how I stand out of the competition. And number two, it feels uncomfortable for me to talk about myself that way. So I really want to help you move forward on this. I want to get to the heart of what's holding you back about marketing yourself. So the very first piece I want to share is this. Contrary to our belief, marketing is not some sleazy endeavor that you have to turn your nose up at. It's not like the used car salesman sleazy pushing yourself to buy something. It's not that. It's one thing. It's bringing yourself to market. It's letting people know who you are. You may be the most amazing baker, artist, designer, videographer, coach, writer, right? But if no one knows who you are just going to do it in your kitchen. And I don't think that's why you're at the Amazing Career Project. You want to get out there in a very, very big way, right? So that's what marketing is. So number one, please shift yourself. I'm bringing myself to market. I'm letting people know about me, right? And if you do not speak compellingly about yourself, if you don't get people jazzed about you, who's going to? Oh, actually, that is a myth that a lot of women believe. Ooh, do I really have to say how great I am? I'll let my testimonials speak for me. I'll let other people do it. Or why should I have to do this? You have to do it. Yeah, let your endorsements and testimonials speak for you. But you've got to be able to say, why me? Just like I did in this intro to our video series. Why are you coming to me? Well, there are reasons, right? So please remember, you got to do the work to market yourself. So let's talk about what is a brand, because I'm asking you to build your personal brand, and this is true whether you work in corporate, you're looking for a new job, you want a new career, or you're starting a new business. You got to know what your brand is. If you really are ready to launch your business, think about this in terms of the business's brand. But you are a brand as well. So what does this mean? I want to share a resource with you. I used a wonderful consultant, the founder of Fearless Branding, fearlessbranding.com, when I was launching Elliott Communications, and he was so helpful. I'm going to share some of those tidbits with you. And everything he's ever said resonates with everything I read about branding today. So it's great stuff. But the first piece is you are a brand, and you need to look at how people experience you on 3 different levels: emotionally, aesthetically, and functionally. So I'm going to use myself as an example. As a coach, what do people get emotionally with me? What do I do, and what is the experience that they get? Gentle, compassionate, empathic, deeply understanding, probing, whatever it is, you got to know what's the emotional experience. Secondly, aesthetically, if you have a website, which I hope you do, if you on your LinkedIn profile, if you're on Twitter, and I hope you're all engaging in social media, we're going to talk about that in a second. Aesthetically, who are you? There are certain colors that I choose in the palette of my websites that are me. I don't choose colors that I don't like. There's certain fonts, there's certain design elements, right? Everything, all my materials reflect what I love and what I'm going for. So there's an aesthetic piece, and then finally the functional piece. What do you do that no one else in your field does? So let me start here with some key steps for you about how to develop your brand. 5 core steps. If you're following all of these videos, you know I like the number 5. I just love it. 5, get clear, get speaking, get writing, get collaborating, and get envisioning. So let's talk about it. What does get clear mean? The very first thing is you've got to know in 10 words or less who you are and what you stand for. Why? Because you're going to have a million opportunities to share that. It's called the elevator speech for a reason. And it sounds cliche, but it's not cliche. On the soccer field, in the Starbucks, at your Stop and Shop, when you're getting your hair done. I can't tell you, I get a lot of clients where I get my hair done. You've got to talk about what you do, and you can't ramble and say, and I don't know, it kind of looks like this. You've got to know it. So for instance, when I talk about me, I say, and before I tell you what I say, it's got to be authentic. You can't lie and you can't embellish. And the reason for that is, well, there's lots of reasons, but when you embellish and lie, your energy tells that. You're not as powerful. There's even muscle testing that shows that when you're not telling the truth, you're weaker. It's happened to me. I've had it tested. It's amazing. You can't lie. So you got to find it within you to know what the truth is and reframe that in a way that gives you the most expansion, positivity, and opportunity. So what's my brand? I'm Kathy Caprino. I'm a nationally recognized women's work-life expert, career coach, and leadership developer. I own my company, Elia Communications, and the Amazing Career Project, all dedicated to helping women advance in business and build exciting, rewarding careers of significance. And I do that through coaching, training, seminars, resources. So in a minute, people are going to know, okay, I get it. She works with women. She cares about advancing them in business. She does coaching, speaking, training. She's a writer, right? They're going to know all of that. And what you want from that is that if any of that part is engaging to them, they have a friend who needs a coach, they need a coach, they know someone who needs a trainer for leadership, you've hooked them. You've hooked them. They want to know more. And you can tell if you're doing this well if you say to someone, I'm a blah, 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 and their eyes glaze over, or they don't ask a follow-up question. It means you didn't nail it. You didn't say anything of interest. Okay? So describe in 10 words or less what you do. And this is the hardest thing. This is what I want you to think about. Start writing descriptors about what you do and how you do it differently. When someone says, what do you do that's different? I say, I've researched women's issues, and particularly women 35 to 55. I've written a book. I have national research on it. I take my mess and turn it into a message. I help women transform their crises. How? Because I lived through it and did it myself, and blah, blah, blah. So you've got to know how you're different. And I'll tell you, this is the hardest part. People come to me, let's say a financial consultant, and I'll say, how are you special? What do you do that's different and special? And this is the key. Compare yourself to people that are the best of the best. Don't compare yourself to the people who are terrible at it. So a financial consultant will say, well, I really listen. I really hear what they want, and I help them, create a path. Really? Aren't the best financial consultants doing that? Don't the best financial consultants really listen and have an ability to shape the financial plans to match the priorities? So that's not good enough. You got to dig deep, 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 peel the onion, keep peeling till you get to how you're special. Second step, get speaking. So here's the deal. We speak thousands of minutes a day. We're always speaking, right? You're speaking again at Starbucks. You're speaking to your friend. You're speaking to your mother. You're speaking to the hairdresser. So what we want to do is have you utilize the speaking in a way that gets you business, gets you opportunities, right? Gets you what you want. So there's a few things. One, it has to do with the elevator speech. Start speaking about what you do. If you're not talking about your business, your job, then it means either you're not connected to it or something's wrong, because you should be speaking about it. I remember when I didn't like my corporate job, I'd have a card. It didn't look like me. It wasn't my aesthetic. I'd hand it out. I hated networking. This is something I've learned about networking. You only love it when you love what you're doing, because then it's a chance to talk. Who wants to network about something you don't like what you're doing? So getting speaking is networking, bringing yourself out there, going to organizations, going to events, and speaking about what you do. It's also an incredible opportunity if you can give training seminars, give a workshop, depends on what your field is, of course, but in every area, if you have an expertise, speak about it. Come up with a 1-hour workshop and offer it. I have clients that have a certain expertise in financial services, and they're speaking nationally at big conferences because they have that expertise. But first, they had to think that they did, right, in order to develop that talk. The third step is get writing. So we're always writing, right? How many of you get 100 emails a day like I do? We're writing all the time. Use that writing. In every email, of course, in your email signature, write who you are and what you're doing, career coach, leadership trainer. Use your writing. And and bring it forward. If you're in an area where you have an expertise, write an article, write a blog, submit a white paper, write about your expertise, your teachable point of view that we talked about in another video. Get collaborating. This is also how you build your brand. You want people who love what you do and can't wait to share it with everybody you know. But first, you got to have a community to do that with. So you have to build it. You have to think about when you want to build collaborations, what expertise can I bring to this person? What can I bring to a collaboration? You must always be a service first. Don't think about yourself. What do I need? What can I get? Think about who can I help? Who can I support? I'll give you an example. Brendan Burchard, who I'm an enormous fan of, best-selling author of The Millionaire Messenger and The Charge. I've loved what he's done. I've loved his videos. Well, I write for Forbes, called them up and said, can I interview you for Forbes? He said, yeah, sure, perfect. And we've made a wonderful connection now, right? And potentially, who knows, down the line, maybe we could collaborate. And I'm certainly attending his Experts Academy in the fall. That's how it works. Be of service first. Then the collaboration builds. The fifth step to developing your brand is get envisioning. And what I mean by that is begin to visualize yourself in the next step. See it incredibly clearly, and then start taking action as if you're already there. So we talked in another video about creative visualization, Shakti Gawain's great book and series of practices. And I've got to tell you, as you visualize, and I mean see yourself there, what you're wearing, what your hair looks like, what your jewelry is, who's in the room, what the lighting is. As you see yourself there, you start marshaling your resources to get there. And I want to talk for a second about a wonderful creative visualization tactic called treasure mapping. It's called a lot of other names, but it's a fantastic tool to envision where you want to go. And again, it's in Shakti Gawain's book, Creative Visualization. But the idea is that you create, you get a piece of paper and you sit on the floor with magazines and you're thinking about one goal. And for me, I do this a lot. About 8 years ago, it was about public speaking. And I had never public spoke before. And I sat on the floor and I cut out pictures of what it would look like. And there was one picture I cut out that showed a mahogany-lined room. So beautiful and rich. And it was filled with excited, energetic women in seats looking forward. And I said, I don't know why, but I feel really resonant with that. Put it there right in the middle of my treasure map. And do you know that about 2 years later, my first public speaking gig was in a room exactly like that. Mahogany, dark wood, about 100 women. It was that. So I want you to get visioning, see yourself there, do the treasure map, and you'll see the link to that in the resources in your homework. Start envisioning where you are and speaking about it. I plan to be a public speaker. I plan to launch my baking business, right? Wonderful. So what do I need to leave you with? Marketing is not sleazy. Marketing is bringing yourself to market. You have to let people know who you are, how great you are, and why you. I hope that's been helpful. Don't forget to do your homework, and I'll see you next time.